Hello and welcome to this thing I do. It's been a while since I made a good old prediction video that will end up being wrong, so here we are. With Ragnarok fast approaching, Kratos and Atreus don't have time to mess around and travel across the realms just for armor and axe pommels. They have an apocalypse to stop. But if so, why are we going to all 9 realms in God of War Ragnarok? I mean, the real answer is because it's the last Norse game, and if we couldn't go to all the realms, there'd be riots, but with the urgency of Ragnarok, there have to be story reasons that justify us going to all of them. Fortunately, Santa Monica has graced us with the map from the Jötunheim edition, which gave us little hints and crumbs of information to try and figure it out. And I'm not really gonna talk about Midgard because, I mean, come on. Let's get the obvious out of the way. We're going to Asgard because that's where Ragnarok is happening. The Aesir are the main villains of the story, and everything is heading towards us fighting and ending them there, so I don't think there is any debate about that, so yeah. Muspelheim is, in my eyes, another obvious one. We're going there because we gotta pick Surtur and his gang up. We'll be like, come on, stop hiding, we did your stupid training, now it's time to go actually fight for real, so let's go, you know? That sort of thing. I believe Svartalheim will kind of be our new hub realm in this game, with traveling through Tyr's temple out of question since Odin had locked up all the realms. It's heavily hinted in lore and legends that Brock and Sindri are going to come up with a new method for us to traverse the realms. Their home in Svartalheim, laced with the World Tree's roots, as well as the text on the Yggdrasil map focusing on their traveling abilities, are both a really strong hint. Durlin is obviously a character important to the story. He may be the new merchant kind of guy, and perhaps most importantly, the caverns on the map seem pretty much identical to the area where we find Tyr. It's very likely he's held up deep below, which is why Odin locked Svartalheim in the first place. The reason to go to Vanaheim is, unsurprisingly, the Vanir gods. The Vanir actually seem to more likely be an ally to us, given that they are an enemy of the Aesir and are not really fond of Freya either after she married Odin, enemy of my enemy is my friend sort of thing. And overall, the Vanir seem to be pretty chill, and their knowledge of how to counter the Aesir and Freya could be very useful. More than that, and this will be a common thread throughout this video, is that once Ragnarok becomes an inevitability, Kratos and Loki will have to find as many allies as possible to fight against Asgard's forces, and I expect the Vanir to be on the forefront of that. We have confirmation of several of Freyr's servants appearing in the game, and considering how much Freyr himself and his father Njord were hinted at in the previous game, it's only natural for us to seek out the Vanir in their realm. Speaking of Freyr, we know we're going to deal with the War of the Elves in the game, and I believe this will be the main reason to visit Alfheim. We know Freyr is the Lord of the Elves, and it's very possible he will ask us to help end the useless war for the light that he couldn't stop while Vanaheim was locked. Besides, the map confirms the Lake of Souls has completely dried up, which is not good obviously, so the Light Elves taking over control ended up being very harmful, as was hinted in the previous game, so we have to help restore balance since it's dangerous for all 9 realms, not only Alfheim. Besides, as I mentioned, we need allies, and the Dark Elves would make a very useful ally at Ragnarok. It may also have something to do with the light itself, maybe we'll need to enter it again for whatever reason, but the war seems to be the primary focus of our visit this time around. Jötunheim, as always, is shrouded in mystery. The only thing we know is that we're going to visit it again with Angerboda, so it's clear there is definitely more to the dead empty realm we visited at the end of our previous journey. Something we'll find out the giants are still alive and have been hiding somehow. I personally think it has to do with time travel, but either way, whatever it is, it's going to be something pretty crazy. Very hard to predict exactly what it's going to be for now though. Why are we going to Niflheim again? Not to do dumbass mist echo grinding, that's for sure, since canonically we took everything from the workshop already. Before the map was revealed, I thought there's going to be one last thing hidden there, something Ivaldi made that's crucial for our journey, but the details on the map painted to be much more interesting than that. The primordial cow on Thumbla is there, although it's probably just a backdrop sort of thing, but there's also seems to be a gate, and who the hell is this? A Norn? A giant? Hell? I have no idea, but that's very interesting. 10 times more interesting than in the last game at least. Considering Niflheim was one of the 2 first realms, with Gunninga Gap still there, It has a lot of significance to the history of this world, and it seems pretty important. Hard to say exactly why, but it's going to be a big deal for sure. I left Helheim for last because, honestly, I have the most to say about it. There are a lot of reasons to come back. The first one is Hel, the goddess, that is. There's been a lot of mystery surrounding her, and she's the daughter of Loki, and I don't have to say how important that is. The interesting thing is, the armies of Helheim are supposed to fight against the Aesir at Ragnarok, so it may be that we're going to the city of Helheim, which Mimir mentioned, to negotiate with Hel and get the Hellwalkers on our side. Not to mention, the ship Naglfar, which Loki uses to transport both the dead and the giants to battle at Asgard, can be seen in Hel on the map, so it's pretty much a given we'll use it for its intended purpose in the game. Another thing is the wolf. There's been a decent amount of debate on what wolf this is. This could be Garm, guardian of the gates of Hel, but it could also be Fenrir, son of Loki and killer of Odin, so that's obviously a good reason to go down there and potentially rescue him. Or those two wolves are the same wolf, in which case, that same thing, but that's beyond the point, really. And if we're going completely out there, we may go to Hel to talk to Baldur. In the myth, the god Hermod visits Baldur in Helheim, where he's treated as a guest of honor in Hel's Hall, and having that translated in the game would be very interesting. Baldur can have valuable information on how to deal with both Freya and the Aesir that could be really useful to Kratos and Atreus. Granted, their last meeting didn't go very well, but I feel like Baldur hates his parents even more, so he may be willing to cooperate. Also, the confirmation of the ring Draupnir that Baldur possessed when he went to Hel is another clue we may see him. And if we're going to go meet Hel anyway, this would kill two birds with one stone. And that's it! Of course, there could and should be bonus activities in different realms, but I feel like the urgency of Ragnarok demands we go to all 9 realms during the story, or worst case, some realms would only be unlocked after the completion of the story, but I don't know, that doesn't really feel right to me, but we'll see. What do you think? Did I miss anything? Would there be any other story reasons to visit some realms that I missed? Let me know. As always, thank you for watching, and see you next time.